And welcome, one and all, back to another edition of the Comedy Podcast. I am your host, DJ Marcus, and you are joining me live in the Comedy Studios with another lovable boy, Joey LaFaro. Joe, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Oh man, we're back, Joey.
We are.
And look who joined us this week. Jumping in on the CP MMA fight line. Her hair is growing back, so I need to shave that. It's got to be lowered. Can't be part of the season if it ain't low.
All right. Okay.
I need to do some maintenance on.
You do as well.
I'm looking real haggard right now.
Oh man, Candace August. Hey, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hello.
Oh man, Joey, it is a beautiful time to be alive, my friend.
It is.
It is a beautiful time to be back on the Comedy Podcast with your boy DJ Marcus. I'm feeling this week, Joey.
You are?
I'm feeling it, man.
Do you feel good about it, or
I'm just feeling
just having feelings?
I'm feeling
about
it.
this week?
I'm in my feels about this week.
Oh, okay.
This week's been a good week for me,
Are
Joey.
there particular feelings about this week?
Yeah, man. I had a good week.
Oh, good.
I had a great goddamn week, man. My uncle's getting married. I told you about that on the last episode.
Yes.
So I got a chance to do some Hoochie Daddy night stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, brother.
Did you put on Hoochie Daddy shorts?
I didn't put the Hoochie Daddy shorts on.
It
was more.
How does it?
It was more of a sugar daddy night.
Oh.
If you didn't have the shorts on, then it wasn't Hoochie Daddy stuff. It was just regular ball-headed hoe shit.
Okay, cool. I did some more ball-headed shit.
Okay.
So for the bachelor party, I didn't know what we were doing for it. So it was just hey, we're gonna meet up at Dave and Buster's. So my first thought is Dave and Buster's. We're gonna play video games.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, I'm down for it. I can do the video goddamn games.
Mm-hmm.
But I get there,
Children's Casino,
and all I hear is the Temptations playing in the background. So I find my dad and my uncle, me and my brother, and then they're doing karaoke in the bar area at Dave and Buster's, and all the music that they're playing is from before I was born.
You followed the Motown sounds to your parents.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
And then, so I was like, okay, this is a new experience. I've never done aged karaoke. I've done karaoke with you, where it just people just sing whatever the hell. So that these are all older black men singing Motown blues songs to older black women.
Coincidentally, I incorporated "Ain't Too Proud to Beg" into a set this week.
That is a coincidence.
It's a weird coincidence.
It's a hell of a damn coincidence.
Yeah, I was talking about a donut though, so I don't know.
Oh man, but yeah, so I didn't go up. I didn't sing.
Okay.
Because I'm saving my vocal cords for the wedding. Because guess what's happening at the wedding?
You're gonna do that thing that guy does in what's it, Coming to America?
Yes.
She is your queen.
No, I'm not gonna do that one.
Oh.
I may do I Believe the Children Are Our Future.
Oh.
By Sexual Chocolate himself. but my uncle has karaoke at the
if you came out in that suit and that wig, it would be over. There would be no more wedding left to have. Everybody's gonna shit themselves. Everyone's gonna either laughing too hard or cleaning up Nana's shit. Like somebody's Nana is gonna have an accident.
But yeah, so that they're doing karaoke at the reception.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking singing "Ain't Too Proud to Beg," or something a little more Temptation. What's that one? What's that one Temptation song? Damn it, I forgot the name of it. I'll find it by the end of the show. But I was thinking about doing something by the Temptations. That way it feels comfortable. But you know who I ran into there?
Who?
The one person who came across my mind. Now you know him as
Wait, I think I know the song you're talking about.
It's
the one where they go, "I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. Is that one?
That's Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Yes, that
That's
is one.
Temptations, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that what y'all been saying the whole time? When y'all were saying Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I thought y'all were talking about the TLC version.
Why would I sing that?
I don't know. That's just the one that came to my mind.
I don't even know. I didn't know that existed.
And I don't know the words.
It does exist. I don't actually.
If I need it in the morning, then I need it in the night. I ain't too proud.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought Joey was talking about this whole time.
No.
And I was like, how is that relevant to the Temptations? I was so confused.
All right. Ain't You Proud to Beg always defaults to Temptations, first of all.
If you have soul, it does.
That's
Candace. Candace ain't got no soul. Candace.
What? TLC is also black. What are you talking about?
Soul
not
music,
the same
though.
thing.
They ain't soul music, baby. You gotta have soul, baby.
All right.
So, you remember on the podcast I spoke previously about my mom who passed away numerous years ago, and her boyfriend before she passed away.
Oh,
Tony. First thing,
here's the thing. For some reason, I was going to guess Uncle Tony, but I would have been wrong. But so close,
you're damn near close. It is such a close family resemblance. So first, when I walked in, I see all the men that are there, and I went, "This would be the perfect spot for Tony to hang out. I should tell him about it. I know he lives around the corner." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm just sitting there now. Now, mind you, I'm with my dad." The former boyfriend of my mother, and my uncle, his brother, and my older brother. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear the DJ go, "Oh man, we got local celebrity Tony Brown's in the house." I went, "Oh shit, this nigga here too." And so I'm sitting there like, okay, this is different. So I go, all right, hey, tell my dad I'll be back in a minute. I gotta see somebody I know.
It's extra weird because your dad's hanging out with him.
Well, he wasn't hanging out with him.
But still,
he's just in the same space.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in the same space. But my dad was having fun.
Uncle Tony was at the bachelor party?
No,
not Uncle
This
Tony.
is Mr. Tony.
My mom's boyfriend.
I know. I'm calling him Uncle Tony. Your mom's boyfriend was at the bachelor party?
Yes, in essence, yes. Because it was at a public place, Dave and Buster's during karaoke.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't at the party. He was just at Dave and Buster's.
He just happened to be.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go say hi. I see him. I gotta say hi to him. So I walk up to him. He's like, "Hey, son, it's good to see you." I'm like, "Hey, Tony, good to see you too, man. It's been a while. Yeah, we gotta catch up." And he's like, "Who you here with?" I'm like, "My dad over there and my uncle. We here for his bachelor party." He's like, "Let me go say hi to your dad." Huh? Wait a goddamn minute.
I didn't ask for this.
I didn't want this part. This part of the whole thing I didn't want. Now,
who's the bachelor?
My uncle.
I know, but how is it? Is it your dad's brother?
My dad's brother, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, my dad is roughly 6'3", 6'4". Tony got to be around 5'10", 5'11". So when my dad stands up and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, this is Mom's boyfriend, Tony." My dad stands up and he seems like he stood up for a while.
Did your dad peacock about it?
He kind of did. And so he just kept looking down at him. I'm like, this is one of the weirdest moments of my goddamn life. I've never been in a situation like this before. But he just keeps looking down at him. And then like Tony would say joke. You know how Tony was. He would say jokes that only old men get. And then my dad would look at me. And then look back at him. I was like, how was my dad?
They weren't cool like ahead of time?
They met at my mom's funeral. That's the only time they've ever met.
Okay.
So it's not like they had an opportunity to meet up and hang out and shit. So it was just a. So
why did he go out of his way to want to say hello to him? That's what I don't understand.
Because that's Tony.
Yeah,
that's who Tony is.
He's a strange person.
Okay, all right.
So I
can vouch for that. I just remember he would. He went from like a traumatized individual to like really friendly. to doing some nonsense shit. It was very cycle. He had a cycle.
Yeah.
He would go through here's the thing. Marcus's mom would like abuse him, right? And then he would be really nice to everybody else, but then he would go and like do some fuck shit and everybody would get mad at him.
Yeah. That was his continuous cycle.
Like I'm trying to remember an exact example of some bullshit he did.
He tried to get me and Dave to go with him to shake down a barber shop because they owed him money. So he wanted me and Chef Dave to go with him because he needed two bigger guys so the people would give him the money for the barbershop he was helping make. Again.
Here's the thing. This is what I remember about him, right? Imagine a person like you, every time you meet him, you're right on the point to go, he's a nice guy. But as soon as you have that thought, he asks you to do something that makes you go, huh? What?
Oh, he's a genuine and a sweet guy. He's a nice old man. My mom's last sugar daddy. So it was just a matter of going, I don't know what to do with this man. Like, because he shows up, and you remember the shirts he used to wear.
Yeah.
Like he shows up in these like elaborate printed shirts, and like it's got dragons and shit on the back. Not saying it's a bad thing. I got two of them. He gave me two of those shirts. Like I'm gonna wear one on the podcast next week. You okay, Candace? Candace, you good?
I'm here.
Okay.
Why did it go away? Did my camera come off?
She's here, but she's not here for the story.
Yeah.
I heard it. The dragon shirts. I'm good.
When you start going like this, that means get going, nigga.
Oh no! I was scrolling on the screen. Did you just see my hand doing this?
Yes.
That's hilarious. No, I was swiping a notification out of the way.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so that was a weird night. Like it was one of those nights where I went, okay, this is my life. And my dad throwing shade. My dad's now, mind you, my dad's a minister. So A, he should have been in this bar to begin with. B, he shouldn't been having this much fun at karaoke. And C, he was throwing more shade than I've ever seen a grown man throw shade at another man with his eyes on me. You're just like, really? Is this what she ended up with after all those years? This is who she ended up with.
Why are you looking at me? It's your fault.
Basically. Oh man, but yeah, man, I had a blast though. I got to see my uncle perform. My uncle sang.
Sorry, your dad's an asshat sometimes.
He is. He's an ass, but he's my dad. I love him to death. Yeah. But yeah, I got to see my uncle perform. Tony performed.
Oh,
Tony sang too. Now Tony had to go and upstage my uncle. My uncle went up, sang, had the crowd going. The crowd was like, "Oh yeah, he good. He into it. Look just like David Ruffin."
Oh my God.
And then my uncle sits down and Tony goes up singing a cappella and then lets the music drop in. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? And all the women in there, woo, Tony! I'm like, where am I at? This is the most ridiculous shit.
The only thing it was missing was Zach popping up and doing backup dancing. For
that would have made my night like complete. Like
the only thing missing.
The only thing missing was Zach. Oh my God. Yeah, but man, that was with me this week, man. You haven't done anything this week, man?
I did another Solly show in DC.
Okay.
And we had a very similar situation to
me.
No, we had so you remember the whole DL Monique thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had a similar situation with two Bringer comics. So imagine that show,
God.
But Bringer level.
First of all, that Monique and DL beef is solely reserved for headliners. Like, what are two Bringer show people beefing about?
That's the thing. They were the headliners of the Bringer show.
Ah, okay.
So like,
they brought the most people.
Here's
hilarious.
the thing. One of them was celebrating 2 years in comedy, And so he had a bunch of people there to see him.
Mhm.
And he was supposed to do 20 minutes because I guess every single joke that has ever gotten a laugh, he has held on to with an iron fist, regardless of what every other audience has told him. And then, so he went up there and did his thing. And then, unbeknownst to me, until I got there, another comic was going up after him and doing 35 to 40 minutes.
He had a bringer show?
Who had less people there somehow.
This is a bringer show.
This is a bringer show. Now there were a few, like I was on the show and I did fairly well and set him up well for success.
Okay.
Leon Scott was the first comic, and Leon did very well too. So
Yeah.
And this was a standing room only crowd.
Okay.
I mean, packed. There was not enough seats. We literally like took every stool and put it up there so people could watch.
Wow.
Which I don't know how. All I can say is I need to learn more from Starstruck on how these productions happen. I don't know how he's making this happen. So
it was a Starstruck show.
Yeah. So okay. I'm not gonna name names, but the comic that was doing the 20 minutes, he goes up and decides that it's because he brought the black people. So there was like his people were all sitting on the side of the room, and there's this big pile of white people in the middle. And I know some of them were foreign because one of them came up to me when he after having bought a ticket and was like, "There are no seats." No. And I was like, "Get a croissant." I don't know what to tell you. So
why did he come to you?
Because I was the door guy.
Gotcha. You keep getting roped into that door guy position.
I keep asking for this problem. So he goes up there and he decides the way he's going to reach the white people in the audience is to say, "This looks like a Big Bang Theory type crowd." And he tries to just, I don't even know if there was a punchline to it. He tried to sing Soft Kitty, or tried to get them to sing along Soft Kitty.
What is Soft Kitty?
Soft Kitty is the song used on Big Bang Theory to soothe someone who's sick. It's a song that Sheldon used on the show Big Bang.
I've never seen a full episode of that show. So
the Parsons guy, what's his name?
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons, right? His character is annoying, and he's like this like super brainiac intellectual, but he's like also a pain in the ass to deal with. And when he gets sick, he like insists on his roommates and people around him singing him the song that his mom used to sing him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Soft Kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
Happy kitty, sleepy kitty.
So, but I'm taking it that the white people in the room did not know this song.
They did not. Even if the ones that did, no one was getting on board with the idea that they were going to sing along with this. And then he proceeds to get like angry. We don't need to. We already did that. We don't.
Oh, well, fine, Joseph. I'm just trying to help.
I fucking hate Big Bang Theory.
I know you do. Yeah.
So here's the thing. The audience wasn't about it. So he proceeds to get mad at the white people because they're like, "Isn't this y'all shit?" So that's how this 20 minutes started. He then proceeded to do like, I think he tried to do some haikus, which were just like him saying like raunchy stuff. Like it was something I eat ass, but it was it fit into the haiku syllable buckets. So I guess technically it was a haiku, and he thought just like this is the kind of thing he did for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So
did he get laughs by it?
His people enjoyed it.
We're dying. Or they just enjoyed it.
I don't know about dying, but they were
now the people that he brought are gonna laugh at whatever he does, whether it's funny or not.
Exactly.
True.
No soul was.
Did anyone else in the room like it?
Well, I don't know.
Comics.
Some of the other comics, like I don't think all the other comics even understood what was happening enough to enjoy the train wreck. So like
That is feasible.
So he gets to the end and he thinks that he didn't get all of his 20 minutes. So he's upset. Meanwhile, during his set, like a good chunk of the room left.
Except for his people that he brought, pretty much.
None of except for his people. Now, to be fair, some of those people left after my set, and not because they weren't happy, but just because it was a bringer show, and we were on, and I was like the 8th comic.
The night of 1,000 comics.
Yeah,
Stop.
it's 11 comics.
Stop. There were 8 comics, and then after that, someone to do 20 minutes and someone to do 35 after 8 comics.
It might have been 9.
Jesus.
And then they had someone do 20 minutes and another person do a half an hour after 9 comics. How much time did the 9 comics do? Like 3 minutes each?
They did 7.
Jesus Christ.
It's a night of 1,000 comics. I've been to these shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to them too, but nobody gets to do 30 minutes. It's just like 14 comics all doing 8 minutes.
So the guy who's going up last is a bigger guy. So he's been in the back of the room and he started sweating from being there. And now by the time he gets on stage, he's pissed. He spent his first like 5 minutes just ranting about the fact that he had to follow this. And then he just was like yelling the rest of the time. And I was like, all right, I'm good. There's no one else is buying a ticket to this. So I left. I then like the next day, this guy posts on Facebook. Well, then I'm getting like messages like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, why is Adam mad? I'm like, because Beatty. Why is Beatty mad? I don't know. Then he posts on Facebook, oh, great job. Hope you're happy with yourself. You bombed your set because you got shit-faced. I'm like, I don't think you understand. That's just him. Like, he wasn't drunk.
Who are we talking about?
The 45-minute guy was mad at the 20-minute guy. And he accused the 20-minute guy of being drunk. Little does he know that was not his being. I don't know how much alcohol he had, but it would have not affected his performance in any way because I've seen it before. So
you've seen the set. It's that way.
So how did the 35-minute guy do? Did he do okay?
I don't know. I left. He started his first 5 minutes were just bitching about the 20-minute guy. And then he was just yelling the rest of the time. And like he got a couple laughs, but I was like,
so he pulled a full Monique.
He
went full Monique.
So these two are arguing, and I was just like, ugh.
I've seen this show before. That's what you're sitting there.
That's why I left, because I'm like, I'm not gonna stick around to watch this implosion after the fact. I will say it was really annoying. It was one of the 20-minute comics people. Then while the 45-minute guy was doing his thing, came up to me because there was like a line at the bathroom. He's like, hey, why don't you clear this shit out? I'm like, tell me you weren't paying attention to my set without telling me you weren't paying attention. Like, I was on stage like 2 seconds ago. Like,
that's what you get for getting.
You laughed.
That's what you get for being a part of the Starstruck family. Joey LaFaro is the bouncer.
I get no respect.
The doorman, the bathroom attendant, everything else at the Starstruck show. Oh man, but you know where you won't find that type of nonsense, Joe?
Where?
Comedy shows near me.
This is true.
You know what you find at comedy shows near me? Top-notch comments. Who we got this week, Joey?
We have Miss Apple Brown Betty's going to join us.
Awesome.
And headline. We also have King Tank is going to feature.
Okay.
And Al Williams.
Al Williams, former podcast guest.
All former podcast guests.
All former podcast guests.
And it's hosted by Hetty Sandberg.
Another see, this is when the dot comedy team comes together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll be there this week, Joe.
That's nice because you weren't last week, and I got a little
frustrated.
Felt some type of way about that.
Why were you frustrated? I told you the week before I wasn't going to be there.
It wasn't that. It just was like, I didn't delegate properly.
Okay.
And so I ended up trying to do too many things at once.
Gotcha.
Because it's really like, especially with like, so our if you're not familiar with how our shows are, we have a few guest spots that are only 5 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And in between those comics, I have to like time them and get an Instagram post out and get a boomerang and do the music at the same time, which is a lot to do in one phone and a tablet. Like it's a lot to process. So I needed to delegate one of those responsibilities to somebody else. Gotcha. And I did not do so properly. So it was my own fault.
That's fine. You live, you learn, Joey.
Yes.
You live, you learn. Oh man, Candace, anything happened to you this week?
Yeah. So speaking of comedy drama, I was at an open mic on I can't even remember. Anyway, got off work late, so I got one of the other comics to sign my name for me, as you do at open mics. Mm-hmm. And then one of the people that came there, he scratched my name off the list and then put his name on top of it. He was like, "You weren't here, blah, blah, blah." And so when I got there, which was after him, I scratched his name off the list and put mine back on there.
Damn.
And it was just like a bunch of fucking drama about it. And he went and threw a fit and was like, "Oh, she wasn't here. It's not fair, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, it was the difference between you going 5th or going 6th. Like, are you really throwing a fit about that? Like, I could see if I got my name snuck in and then you had to go 37th on the list. We were in the top, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were the first 2 people that were going on. But he was like so mad to have to go 5th instead of going 6th that he like scratched my name off the list.
You comics are prima donnas.
Just petty, like petty. After the show, he was like that he was sorry and he gave me a hug and everything. But still, like, so that was the pettiest shit. Like, just to go 6th rather than 5th, like, was it that much of an inconvenience for you? I don't know.
Well, you weren't there, Candace.
I wasn't there. But I showed up shortly after and scratched his name off the goddamn list. I know that. Like we gonna play petty for petty here tonight.
Unless you have told me a time that you are going to be arriving, if I go to start the show and you are not there, I'm giving that slot to somebody else.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
So that's the thing. I was there well before the show started. I just wasn't there when the list dropped, and I got there maybe 8 or 10 minutes after. You know what I mean? I'm not somebody that came 30 minutes into the show and wanted my name to be waiting for me. It was not like that at all. That's what made it so petty.
Candace didn't pull a diva moment where she went, "You know who I am."
You got here's the end all be all. Who ran the room? Did that person take a side?
Yeah, so she goes, I was like, "Look at this," because she had the list in front of her. And I was like, "Look at this. He crossed my name out and put his." And she was like, well, fuck him. You're going to go first, right? So it was like girl power. But the guy runs a show at the venue. So he went through a fit. So she had to like take his side. But when she first saw it, she was like, fuck him. You're going first. And then he went and threw a fit to her and to the owner because he produces a show there. So it like became a huge thing. Literally, y'all, this was for him to go 5th instead of 6th. I just want to keep repeating that because it would have been a big deal if I snuck my name in and then he was at the bottom of the list. Like both of us were in the top of the lineup and he still had to throw a fucking temper tantrum about it.
Does he ever come to DC for any reason?
He doesn't. Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
You know what you should have done, Candace?
No, I just want to make sure I'm not putting on people that have crossed you. So if you need to send me that name,
wait, hold on. Literally crossed me, like he crossed me out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what you should have done, Candace?
Yeah,
you should have went full Monique. Yeah, you should have just stood on stage. Y'all want to know what this bitch did before he came up on stage? Crossed my motherfucking name off the
motherfucking list.
You don't know who we fucking with. Y'all don't hear me.
Get off stage and go on live about how he raped his daughter or what all kind of shit Monique was doing. She went crazy.
He's a fucking coward and his wife sucks a coward's dick.
How you gonna suck a coward's dick? I was like, oh my God, Mo, is it that serious? Now that was petty. And that's the thing too. It was an open mic. Monique and DL got into it over a paid headliner feud. Why are you doing all of this shit to go 5th versus 6th on a fucking open mic? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, maybe he just didn't want to have to go after me. Poor baby.
Yeah.
And I can understand that.
Hey, I'll go behind you. Wait, that's not what she meant.
Anyway.
Oh, but yeah, man. So it's been a hell of a week for everybody. I guess we've all had a little bit of interesting things
It was
happen.
so annoying. I went in the green room and went off, and the other comics were like on my side, right? Because it was like a couple comics in the back, and they were like, "Well, what are y'all fussing about?" And he was like, "Well, let me tell you what happened." And I was like, "No, let me tell you what happened. My name was on the list. He crossed it out and put his on top of it." And I was like, "That's it. Like he's gonna try to make it this long, drawn out thing with an explanation about timing and when somebody arrived. But the ABC is my name was on the list. He crossed it out and put his." And the other comics were like, "Dude, you did that? Who does that type of graphic shit?" Like it was like for comics that was a big deal. And another comic was like, "Was that like an inside joke between the two of you?" I was like, "Fuck no, he just crossed my name off the list." But the other comics were like against him, like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And then he was like, no, it's the principle of the thing. I walked here. I should get to go first. All right, nigga, go first.
I walked here. Nigga, how do you produce a show? You walk in place.
All right. Nelson Mandela, long walk to the open mic ass. Just go first. No.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna end up on his production one day, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
And then get yelled at.
Oh yeah. You're gonna
you know that's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna end up. Oh, you signed with the enemy again, Joey?
You've already done it twice on your show. I'm just gonna say a person of question was booked twice. That's all I'm saying.
Listen.
I literally today was like putting together like
almost back to back. I think it was like 1 week, then one skipped a week, and then back on again. Like I'm like, seriously, is there no one else in the DMV for you to book?
It was a month. It was precisely a month, and I was not handling booking until June.
Yes.
So I have no control over that.
And Joey doesn't do booking for comedy shows.
Here's the thing. I was actually going through today because we're trying to get an ad, like a video ad together. And the guy who's doing it for me was like, okay, grab any photos you want me to use. And I got to the photos from those dates and was like, I can't use these. I know that like if I immortalize this photo in our ad, I will never hear the end of it. No. I was gonna let these go. There's a couple good ones, but we'll make do.
I would love to see the promo. How did it come out?
It hasn't been done yet.
Yeah,
still in the construction. I just shared the assets today. I was picking the assets.
No.
Go into it.
Joe was picking his ass today.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of comedy, so what came out of that day at the open mic? It was a minor frustration, but it just was like, ugh, this is so petty, having to like fight through the ranks with comics. And it's like, maybe I need to be on the other side, right? Maybe I need to be on the writer's desk, in the production room, still in comedy, which I love, but on the other side of things, because it's like being the stage performer is like being in the fucking trenches, right?
Yeah, comics are assholes.
Yeah, versus being a writer, you're like lofty. I don't know if you've ever worked like at a call center, but like I kind of take it as being a comic is the people who are on the phones. You're like the fucking like foot soldiers, the workhorses. And then there's the people who are the managers and sit in the office and don't really do much except for like tell you where to go and tell you what to do. And it's just like, that's the difference between being a comic versus being a writer. Just you get to be in the office in the air condition. You don't have to fucking fight through open mic lists, and you're still doing comedy, but you're writing the things that the comics have to say.
And then there's a supervisor who only has to get on the phones during busy season.
Right. or when someone complains, right?
Yeah. Oh, those are the worst.
You know what, Candace?
Imagine having to get on your show to save your show.
Right, exactly.
Candace, I'm starting my comedy career.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna need a writer.
Okay. I will do that for you. I am looking to, as much as I love performing, it's just dealing with other comics, and not just to point to this particular thing, because it was a very minor inconvenience, like I said, but just in general, comics are just, they're an interesting breed, and they're just generally exhausting, myself included, right? You're dealing with egotistical people who are also in turn extremely sensitive, and it's just a lot. And I think even though I love being on stage, and I'm gonna continue that, but I think I want to also try to start pursuing the other side of things.
Joey believes I'm not funny.
When did I say that?
Joey believes he says I'm not polished enough. I believe
you've never done anything on stage.
That might be the case. So the fact that you're not funny, that's not true. You are funny. Not polished for stage. I would agree with that, because it takes a while to make that happen. You have to get on stage to get there.
Okay, Joey, share my set with Candace.
What set?
The set we did together, the first one.
So yeah, Dot Comedy hosted a Comedy Shows Near Me show a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I did amazing.
You did 5?
I did 15.
We did a bunch of nonsense that I said
no, it wasn't nonsense.
We did this. We did what we're doing right now in between comics.
Oh, so he helped host the show.
Yeah, we co-hosted it.
Wow. Marcus got from behind the DJ booth and got on stage. This is interesting. Do tell. What happened?
We were going to try and put the DJ booth on stage, but because of the way that the sound is set up at McGinty's,
there's a power loop somewhere in there, so they're just running feedback as soon as you plugged anything in.
They have, so like the place where there's like 2 sides of the room, and for some reason the circuit that the front of the room is on, where the stage is on the same circuit that the speakers are plugged into. And what happens is, as soon as you plug in or anything into that, you just get this.
Okay.
So we had to put it in the back.
In the back of the room. Okay. So it's set up like it was at Union Jacks, where he's like in the back facing the stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we ended up doing was he would have to like walk up because we had the wireless mics. So we made it work, but it wasn't what we expected to do when the day started.
No, it wasn't. But again, killed it. I was the man.
Although I will say, I don't like, I've done a bunch of shows where the DJ's on the stage or like behind you over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder. That's not ideal. It's kind of a distraction for the comic. Like, I don't want somebody like behind me. So
I never liked being on stage as a DJ.
Yeah, it's not, because then what is a DJ doing while you're doing your set? They're like something else for the audience to look at. It's just, it's never ideal for that to be set up that way anyway.
Yeah, the one time I was happy with it is when I performed at the Howard Theater.
Mm-hmm. Howard Theater.
I was fine with being on the stage behind everybody then, because guess what? That means I was a part of the performance the whole show. So I'm just stand in the background. But on a regular open mic, I don't really like being up there.
Well, yeah, who want to do an open mic?
Or no, I mean, sorry, at a regular show.
For the purposes of what we were doing, it made sense because you were going to be actively involved. It wasn't like it's just a DJ and he may do something here or there. Like you were actively contributing. It just was a way to have it where it wasn't this like, oh, well, where do we do it from? And how do you get back and forth and all that other stuff?
Because you don't usually host the shows, right, Joey? You hire a host. So how did the two of you end up hosting?
We needed a host.
it was a pilot for something we were thinking about doing in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like I haven't hosted. I just prefer not to.
You're right. I know. So how did it go? It went okay?
It went okay.
It went good.
We didn't prepare. So it was.
And this is the thing.
Which had its advantages and drawbacks. Because like randomly in the middle of the show, I think, I don't know if you know Gigi Modric, but she was talking about, she had a joke, something about how, what a person like, it was something having to do with people like, oh, well, someone offers me X amount of dollars for sex, I'm just going to take it. But then it was like the audacity of us to think we could fetch that much.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, oh, we're okay. Well, me and Marcus are going to do a stupid auction bit. So basically, yeah. So the idea was,
slave auction. So that's what happened.
The idea was,
get out. What is happening?
So the idea was that me and Marcus were going to have an argument over who was worth more, and to settle it, Jesse was going to try to auction us off to the audience.
Okay, no, none of this is okay. Y'all are auctioning Marcus off.
Not Marcus,
not just me.
Us.
See who?
But still, it's very slavey. I don't like this.
Why is it?
See, Joey, that's what white people think. White people don't think.
That's not okay. You might as well have gone up there in blackface, Joey. This is the same. No, absolutely not.
Joey up there cooning with some watermelon.
Doesn't even make any sense.
No,
It actually went off pretty well.
It went off well. I ended up beating Joey. I got the higher price for the auction.
Oh my God. This is so politically incorrect.
Hey, my girlfriend
Why
paid
this is
$7.
the thing they do these stupid charity auctions all the fucking time. What are you talking about?
I guess you're just auctioning off a black man. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Candace protects black men. I appreciate her. But yes, that was a funny bit, Joey. Yes, that came together great. But you know who did an awesome job that night?
Didn't. My point was that was something we just threw together on the spot because we didn't plan anything, which we probably should have.
See, I don't like to plan. I'm not a plan type person. You know me.
Yeah, but when you have 5 minutes, like you have to plan.
Yeah. The less time you have, the tighter and more efficient you have to be if you want to get everything in. Now, if you don't have an aim for those 5 minutes, yeah, just do whatever. But if there's something that needs to be accomplished in the 5 minutes, you have to have a plan.
The way we were gonna run it was it's the .comedy podcast on stage. And so if you listen to the .comedy podcast, there's no structure to this shit.
There definitely is a structure. We've been doing our opening segment now for 42 minutes.
We have
15. That's the point. This is exactly the problem.
No, we stop when we need to stop. And we want to stop now.
A lot of stuff happened this week. We had a lot of shit to talk about, Joey. So this is what we need to do is the times when there's nothing to talk about and we drag it out for the full 15 minutes anyway. That's what we need to stop. But today, these 42 minutes have been with a lot of shit that happens, and so it's okay.
We had fun these 42 goddamn minutes.
I understand that, but we ain't gonna get 42 minutes on stage. We aren't at a Starstream.
Oh shit! On that note,
wait, Marcus. We need a sound effect for whenever somebody throws shade, like just I don't know something. Like
I gotta put one. I gotta find one.
Because that was shady as fuck.
It was really. I'm trying not to name any names, but I ended up naming a name anyway, and it was not the name I should have named.
Oh man, but yeah, man, we're gonna take a break, Joey. The .comedy podcast team is here, man. But what's going on in the world, man? We're gonna get into these topics.
Yes.
What's going on in the world, dude?
You remember the Choco Taco? You ever had one of those?
Yeah, I did. It was a pretty deep.
No more.
What?
Yeah.
What? They just continued the Choco Taco. That was a classic.
Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like vacations. Shocker. And they keep finding bodies in Lake Mead because it's like shrinking. So they found some more of those.
Where's that? Is that one of the Great Lakes?
No. That's one of the the reconstruction lakes. But we'll get into that and a whole bunch more when we get back in a minute on the .comedy podcast.
But I can't stand these nights alone, and I don't need no explanation, 'cause baby, you're the boss at home. You don't gotta go to work, but you gotta go to work. You don't gotta go to work. Then my body do work.
And we're back on the .comedy podcast. This segment of the .comedy podcast is brought to you by CPMMA. That's right, CPMMA. They sponsor our fight line, and they can sponsor you. Looking to kick some ass, take some names, get yourself down to CPMMA. That is the one place in the world where you can find Joey LaFaro, Bianchi, the Nappy Ninja Zimmerman, and Josh, the big head trainer, all in one spot where you can do one thing, whoop their ass. Or you can try. I've never done it. I ain't going to try today, but I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to fuck somebody up. CPMMA. Get your knocked outs today. We're back on the podcast. Joey LaFaro, DJ Marcus, Candace August. Oh, man, Joe, you ain't got to go to work, but you got to put in work. And you know what, Joey?
You know what I did this week? I flipped a tire.
You flipped the tire?
Yeah.
At CPMMA?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I hit another one with a hammer.
How'd your hip feel when you did that?
Actually, surprisingly okay.
Okay.
Although I may not have realized the full damage yet. We'll see how I feel in a couple of days. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You get to this age, it's like a time delay on the injury.
Yeah, we get to that point sometimes, Joey.
It always hurts like 3 days later.
Yeah. Oh man, but Joey,
yes,
we got a segment we haven't done in a while.
What's that?
Candace. Like I kick it to her, she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Candace, she's still with us.
Come back to that.
We'll come back to it. All right, cool. But yeah, man, what's going on in this world, dude?
So, you went to church this week. How was church?
Church was pretty good. It was anniversary weekend.
Okay.
Church's 2nd year anniversary. We're still doing big things. Growing and showing. Okay. I did more work this weekend while I was at church than I did at my job all week before. So it was a stressful weekend, but it was fun there.
That's good.
Yeah, the shit going on at churches.
Yeah, people getting robbed at churches.
Hold the fuck up, man. Wait, no, sorry, Lord, forgive me. People getting who got robbed, Joey?
A Brooklyn pastor known for wearing designer outfits and extravagant jewelry says he was robbed along with his wife for more than $1 million while he was preaching at a church Sunday. Police say they received a report that 3 people entered the Leaders of Tomorrow Church Sunday with firearms and removed the jewelry Pastor Lamore Miller Whitehead, who goes by Bishop, and his wife were wearing. Police noted the investigation is ongoing.
So here's my problem with this.
There's so many problems. You go ahead, go first, Marcus.
Okay, first problem. This nigga need to stop playing with people. Why are you wearing $1 million?
A pastor, a servant of the Lord.
Thank you. Come on, TD Snakes.
Also, I don't think this nigga had $1 million worth of jewelry. That's just what he put in the insurance claim so he can come up.
More than likely.
Shit, yeah. You know.
Here's the thing. The whole thing was on a live stream.
You know, Cleflo 50 Cent piece ain't gotten that much money.
Hell no, he did not have $1 million worth of jewelry. That's just what he said on the insurance form so he can get paid. Plus, it gives him street cred. Oh, I had $1 million worth of jewelry. Nigga, no, you did not.
Because he was riding around in a Lamborghini with a giant cross on his neck. In one video that Snoop Dogg posted, I was like,
took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop chain. What the fuck is a bishop chain?
It had a big ass bishop chain like T-Pain.
Like a chain that said bishop, like a name chain.
And then I had chains underneath my robe, and he started tapping my neck to see if there was anything else. So that means they watched, and they knew that I have other jewelry, he said.
Yeah, they watch. That's how they case you. Live streaming. Why are you live streaming with that much jewelry on?
Here's the thing.
Exactly.
Why'd they only rob him?
Him and his wife. They robbed him and his wife.
Here's the thing.
That was an inside job. That was parishioners.
I know who did it too, because if you watch the video, there's a clip where they're showing like the camera's not directly on him on the ground.
Uh-huh.
You can see this guy who's sitting on the stage.
Yeah.
Behind there the whole time, unafraid.
Very, very comfortable with everything going on and kind of watching like he's like, yeah, I told you it's going to happen.
Well, here's the thing. It is New York. He may be desensitized to the violence that came into that church.
Or he could be in on it.
He could be in on it too. I don't doubt that he's possibly in on it, Candace. I believe that
everybody's in on it. The whole congregation.
Shit, yeah, the congregation has said this is a come up.
The whole congregation was tired of his ass. They were like, "Yeah, come rob his ass at 11:15 Sunday morning. We'll be in church."
This is a tithe and authoring we pay.
Exactly.
They said he took our tithes long enough. It's time for us to get our money back.
They got tired of him flossing with that collection plate money. Oh, did you guys see? He was on some kind of podcast with another reverend or whatever and some other lady, and he was going off. He called the other reverend a faggot, and he called the lady piggy big or something, called her a blimp, like just going in. And I was like, this is not how a servant of the Lord is supposed to communicate with others.
Like Candace gets all proper with it. This is not how a servant of the Lord is supposed to communicate with others. It's like,
no. He was being extremely hateful, calling her names. He was like, "You're not Biggie Smalls, you Biggie Big." I was like, oh my goodness. Called her a blimp. And the other guy, he was like, yeah, just because you're a faggot doesn't mean I have to preach about homosexuality. I was like, oh my God, all of this is very hateful and not Christian-like at all. Oh, there's the dude who set it up.
That's
definitely set it up.
He just sitting there chilling. He ain't got a care in the goddamn world.
Got the nerve to have the Bible open on his lap. Wow.
He is straight from the path, my brother.
Wow, he does not look unbothered. When somebody's coming in and there's a robbery and people are brandishing weapons, I would think, right, the protocol is to get on the ground, isn't it? And in fact, I heard someone saying, everybody get on the ground. And he just sat in the chair the whole time.
He like, nah, I'm good.
that is
y'all ain't gonna shoot me. I'm good.
They better ask him some questions.
Yeah, this is the first person that the police should pull in for questioning. Number one suspect. Someone on IG commented that these are probably people that he knew from his former life, like the pastor knew from his former life when he used to be in the street, and they're coming back to rob him because he was just like,
just know that the church is a front.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But I mean, people will rob rappers who floss so much with all this jewelry, and they have security. So if you're gonna floss with $1 million worth of jewelry and then be just in a church where anybody can walk in at any moment and take it, that's
Yeah, my pastor got security. Me, shit. If anybody run up on my pastor, they getting fucked up. I've certified this with the rest of the parishioners. If anybody run up on my pastor, I'm punching them in the face.
This is why I keep my ass out the church.
People the internet is largely just laughing at him like it's a joke. And this is something that's very traumatic. He was held at gunpoint. He and his family, him and his wife were robbed. I don't know if he had children that were there. So I understand extremely. He does have children?
Yeah, 8-month-old baby, he said.
Wow. That's that is a traumatizing experience.
I'm sorry that baby has that parent.
But much like he probably tells a lot of sick people and parishioners, your faith will get you through it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to pray his way through that, and
pray your way through that, my friend.
Yeah, and he's gonna get that check from the insurance company, but he's been humiliated in his community.
So if it happens to be an insurance scam, that's the funniest shit.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be.
I hope it does.
If this comes out in like 2 weeks, that the Brooklyn pastor is under investigation by Geico for filing an insurance claim. This is going to be the funniest shit in the century.
Gotta be, because that was not $1 million in jewelry. Something ain't right.
You can't wear $1 million worth of jewelry.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you can, because like some rappers, their chain is like $500,000, but nothing that nigga had on was $500,000.
Here's the key on that, Candace. Most of those rappers' chains aren't real. There may be one or two that have a $200,000 to $300,000 chain. On average, most of that shit's fake.
You wear replicas in public.
Yeah, you don't wear the real shit out the house. And then
then why have it? Well, if you cannot wear it in public, why even have it? Just to wear? You want to wear a $500,000 chain in your mirror?
Private parties where you talk about the pores.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he ain't getting no Roman Catholic money. If he was getting Roman Catholic money, he'd be able to get that $1 million worth of change.
Absolutely not Roman Catholic. He was the pastor of a black church in Brooklyn.
That motherfucker ain't got no pearl shoes. Oh man, but yeah, Joey, you were telling me earlier that there was something that came up, and I wanted to make sure we knew.
Wow.
What do they really want, Joey? It's been a while.
It's a good question.
And I'm trying to figure it out for you, me, and the rest of the universe. Candace,
Yeah.
tell them what you want, man.
Just a couple of things this week, but big things, huge. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck snuck off and got married. They eloped in Vegas. Very, very romantic. Their wedding date is July 17th, I believe. They got married at midnight or after midnight in Vegas. And they did it like regular people. Like they stood in line for the marriage license and they paid their money and just did it at a chapel in Vegas. And now
regular people.
So that she didn't have this huge star-studded wedding. Like they literally just the two of them went off to Vegas midnight and 1:00 in the morning and married each other.
You don't need to have a big marriage, big wedding the second time you do it. You had that before.
First of all, this is like her third or fourth wedding.
Yeah, but with him.
With him though.
Oh, they never got married the first time. They broke up after they got engaged. And he married Jennifer.
He cheated at his bachelor party. That's why they broke up.
Okay, fine. It's still
it doesn't matter.
That's why it's at Vegas. All right. We're doing a low risk wedding. We're doing
we're gonna do it when no one knows, so you can't run.
You guys would have to like put like the most negative spin on it. I thought it was so romantic. Like they just couldn't wait to be married. They're like, we're gonna get married the quickest and soonest and easiest way possible because we just love each other and we waited 20 years to be together and now we're not waiting one more second. That's how I saw it.
No. The quickest, soonest way for them to get married is they fly in somebody to marry them. They can afford it. They don't need to go to Vegas to do it.
Thank you. They could have got married in their backyard.
Okay, so why Vegas then?
Because they wanted to make a spectacle of the shit. They wanted
That's not
people
a
to go.
spectacle. That's like the least spectacle. There's maybe only 2 pictures of the entire ceremony. There was no paparazzi because they went and did it in secret.
They wanted it to be.
They wanted to fuck with people like you. They were people who pay attention to them. They're like, hey, let's get married in Vegas.
They're gonna love this shit. They're gonna love it.
Watch how they react to this.
Watch them watching us.
But that's like for me, like if when and if I get married is like that's exactly how I want to do it. Like just the two of us, we go and run off and do it. I don't need a bunch of family and people around. Like I don't want the huge extravaganza. Just the two of us. Telling each other we love each other and tying the knot, that's perfect to me.
But you don't have to go to Vegas to do that. Like to me, the Vegas part
was not necessary.
Makes it sketchy.
They can go to the damn Justice of the Peace and do the same.
No one talks about getting married in Vegas and has fond memories about it. It's always a mistake. It's always a regret. Yeah,
this happened
9 times out of 10. It's the wedding that you have to get annulled. So I don't know.
So Getting married in Vegas is similar to a Justice of the Peace wedding, except it's quicker. You can expedite the paperwork and everything quicker in Vegas because they do same-day marriages. So you can get your marriage license and get married the same day or the next day. Versus if you do it in one of the other states, you have to get a marriage license and they make you wait like 30 days or some shit like that.
Okay, but I heard her say something, Joey.
So it's a paperwork issue.
Yeah, it is.
So what I'm saying is this was the fastest way for them to get married. They were like, we love each other. We want to do this right now. And in Vegas, that's a place where you can make that happen instantaneously. In other places, you have to wait through their court process.
Okay, I see it as a front, an affront to marriage.
I thought you
love
just
everywhere.
Go to the courthouse. They do.
I thought they did it right away.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I mean,
when you go to the courthouse, I mean, I can only tell you how, what I've experienced with other people that I know. You go and get a marriage license, and then there's a certain amount of time, like a waiting period to get the marriage license. And then there's a certain amount of time that the marriage license is valid, that you can get married. But there's like, you can't just do it in the same day. You can't just go get a marriage license at 2:00 and then get married at 3 p.m.
Then what do these hoes be doing when they go, hey, I want to go get married, and they go down to the courthouse and get married?
That's what I thought too.
You have to get your marriage license before that, and that's a filing process that takes a few days in and of itself. You can't just go get married the same day that you decide you want to get married. But in Vegas, you can.
They got assistance for that shit. They could have let that shit be. But congratulations to Bennifer. Made their union last as long as
until they die, because I don't want to hear about it.
I don't want to hear about them anymore.
They are vacationing, not vacationing. They are honeymooning now in Paris with their kids. So his daughter is with them, and Jen's daughter is with them at least. They may have more kids there, but they have at least their 2 daughters there with them. So they did like a family honeymoon.
Better not be any goddamn kids at my motherfucking
honeymoon. Goddamn it, that was her idea. That was her goddamn idea, because that damn show wouldn't be mine. We fucking shit. The news know that we going on this honeymoon. We fucking the whole time, and you coming back with a baby.
They're in Paris with their family. Isn't that? It's just beautiful. Everything about the story is so beautiful to me.
Okay, that's.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It's a shout out to the man that gave you that ring. He gonna do the same thing, because you keep flashing it. So
The other thing about what they want is that Lizzo became the first female artist to do something in the top 100 of Billboard. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was amazing. Let me look it up.
Come on.
The first female to do something. What the fuck is that? That ain't what they want. That's some bullshit.
That ain't even, I ain't even dignifying that with a Google. I got a whole segment unprepared for it.
Her album About Damn Time officially hits number 1 on the Hot 100 and becomes her second career number 1 hit after Truth Hurts, which led 7 weeks in 2019. And let's see, About Damn Time by Lizzo is the first song by a lead female artist to reach number 1 on the Hot 100 in 2022.
Okay.
So we're almost 8 months into this year, and she's the first woman to get in the top 100 on that list.
What else was in contention? It's 20 like
nothing.
This year ain't been
Every song made is in contention, and she's the first female to hit the top 100 this year.
I don't think that's a high bar.
That's not a bar. She did the first level of
like there would have to be like name a single banger from 2022.
Beyonce released an album this year.
So name one song.
Okay.
No,
So
she didn't.
Lizzo, if you and Beyonce release an album in the same year and your song is the first one to get to the top 100, is that not a fucking accomplishment?
Not if Beyonce's album's trash.
And Beyonce hasn't released the album yet.
First of all, yes, she did. And then number 2, there's no such thing as a Beyonce album being trash. It could be trash, but the Beehive is still going to buy it.
I mean, that may be, but it doesn't make it good. Like
no, I understand that. But I'm saying it's going to sell is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's fine. And it's selling money good, but I'm not, there's always music selling every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's
people die every day, B.
It's still, I would put say most of the music made this year is still trash.
Yeah.
Compared to name a year. Like,
when music was good, Joey? Last time music was good was when Disturbia came out by Rihanna.
I hate you.
Every time I have these news about these magnificent, successful, talented women, you guys always shit on it, no matter what it is. I'm like, oh my God, Jen got married and found her true love at 53. Y'all are like, fuck her, it's a gimmick. And I'm like, Lizzo was the first person to hit the top 100 in 2002. Y'all are like, all the other songs suck. Like, y'all never give anybody any credit.
First of all, J-Lo has nothing to do with it. Fuck Ben Affleck.
Why don't we like Ben Affleck? What's this?
I never like Ben Affleck.
A piece of shit.
I only
How?
like
Have you paid attention to the things that come out of his mouth?
He's
I don't know.
Too, right?
That's all I care about.
He's a Boston.
He's a racist. Like he literally tried. You know the show Finding Your Roots?
Mm-mm.
It's a show on PB on public broadcasting. Ben Affleck found out that his relatives were slave owners.
Mm-hmm.
So he petitioned the show not to show that part of his family heritage because it might damage his career. But it's like, okay, if you accept who your fucking family was and you're not a racist, why are you this type of shit Ben Affleck does?
I'm trying to hide that shit for.
My thing is, why? I just assume that most white people have slave owners in their lineage because white people own slaves. Like, why was that such a big, shocking revelation to him? Is what I'm saying.
Thank you. That same question everybody else had when he did the shit. Because it's like, okay, you're an American-born family.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Why would you think that they didn't have? I don't know.
Just cities in the country.
Thank you. So then he did that shit, and then it was like, oh, okay, well, Ben now he cheats on women left and right. Cheats with babysitters. Cheats with whores. He's just a horrible.
He was a raging alcoholic for like 15 years too. I just found that out.
He's a horrible human being.
He's not.
He doesn't deserve J-Lo. That's what me and Joey are saying. He doesn't deserve her. Mark Anthony deserves J-Lo. Mark Anthony just sings his little teeny tiny heart out. And J-Lo
a shit ton of cigarettes.
It smokes a lot of cigarettes.
I just remember how gorgeous Ben looked in The Town, that movie.
God.
He was everything in that movie.
You remember?
First of all, Ben Affleck has never looked gorgeous.
Thank you.
Have you seen The Town? Have you seen The Town?
Need to, because I've seen Ben Affleck.
Have you seen him when he was Batman?
Yes.
Yes, horrible. He's an old Batman. He plays old Batman.
He looks
and he's fat
the whole time.
He's fat old Batman. What the fuck you want to do with that? What are we doing?
Michael Keaton's Batman. Period. End of story.
Michael Keaton Batman. Shit, Christian Bale Batman.
Nobody beats Keaton. Keaton was the best Batman.
Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne, baby. I don't know about.
You know who I
think Ben made a good Bruce Wayne because he has that very pretty boy kind of billionaire type of look. But he didn't make a good Batman.
You know who I'd prefer over all of them? The Val Kilmer Batman. He'd
probably be second after Keaton.
You know what I prefer? No Batman. Fuck Batman.
Who I prefer? The Idris Elba Batman, because that's coming soon.
No, he was supposed to be 007.
Hey, make him Batman. Give him.
I'd rather it be 007. I like that.
I don't want a black 007.
Why?
Because it
doesn't. But you want a black Batman?
First of all, they already made a black 007. If you saw the last movie,
did they?
Yes.
I didn't see the last movie.
Yeah.
I guess I got to do what they're watching next week.
There you go.
All right. But Candace, is that all they want, really?
That's it this week.
All they want is Lizzo and Bennifer.
Seriously.
I do not know how you guys always shit on my fucking news. And this time you went through a special all-time low. I don't know how you turned a beautiful romantic elopement into whatever you guys said it was.
They went to Vegas.
It was a con job. That's what we said it was. We said what it was, a con job.
That's where people elope, Joey, in Vegas. What are you talking about? It's the wedding capital of the world.
It's the annulment capital of the world.
Yes, that too.
It's probably also that. But that's because so many people are getting married there.
Eloping to get married by an Elvis impersonator.
She said that they didn't get married with the Elvis impersonator because he was off duty, like he had already left for the day, and they would have had to pay extra money to bring him back.
Was there a guy in a sombrero with a goat?
But you know what? Candace did send us a picture, a video of Lizzo, and I had a positive statement about.
I was so happy.
I think
you've grown.
Yeah, it's the L cover.
That I said she looked. That's a good look for her.
Yeah, she looked.
It only took a whole team of photographers.
You also said that. You only said that because I browbeat you so much about the Lizzo hatred that you spew into our group chat.
First of all,
we do that together. First of all,
when the fuck have I walked back a goddamn thing? Second of all, I said decent. I still said it only took like a whole room of people to make her look like that. But
now here's the thing.
All I'm advocating for, you know what she did? She covered the long titty and the long ass crack.
It's covered.
That's all she did. And look at the difference.
I need Lizzo to smile. That's what I need Lizzo to do. I know it's not. I know it's not PC and Me Too.
Scowl at me
in the world we live in. I need me.
Which is
Lizzo.
Spelled SCOWLING.
He was like, I don't like to see black women scolding. I was like, scolding who?
Fuck both y'all.
What's a scolding?
Learn how to spell Marcus.
Fuck y'all. I went to DC public schools. I ain't got to explain myself to this shit.
I don't like to see black women scolding. I was like, scolding? What?
Speaking of people who need to stay in school.
Who's that, Joe?
So familiar with the Arizona Cardinals of the NFL?
Yes.
Their quarterback just got a new contract.
Okay.
This man Kyler Murray got $230.5 million. 230.5.
Why the fuck you got 0.5?
I don't know.
Give 230. 231. Shit.
He's a contract extension.
Is that how much quarterbacks make? Is that typical? I don't know this sports
That
salary.
is a new record.
That's a high end. That's
Yeah.
a way high end.
That is a new level.
So what team is it?
The Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals. Now,
Mm.
as part of his contract extension, the Arizona Cardinals will have to keep his study habits. According to Ian Rapport, Murray's extension includes an addendum requiring 4 hours of independent study of film each week.
All right, so all of you sitting at home, if you're going to be a top tier quarterback, top tier athlete, you're supposed to do that shit on your own. You're supposed to want to be in the film room late, looking
Now
at
he's got contract mandated study hours.
Yeah.
fucking study hall.
I need to give my daughter that. Maybe if I give her $10 a week and mandate her studying, she'll actually do the shit.
So just for context, his average annual salary is second only to Aaron Rodgers.
Jesus Christ.
Aaron Rodgers is at $50.3 million a year. That makes Murray's $46.1 per year.
Where did he?
What team does Aaron Rodgers play on?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Okay.
Where did they end up last year?
Huh?
Where did Arizona end up last year?
I don't know if did they make playoffs? No, they lost. They lost to the Rams in the wild card round.
The wild card. Okay.
I have a question.
Money? Yes.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Marcus. I didn't mean to cut you off.
How is he making that much money?
That's
They
what
didn't go to the Super Bowl or a playoff game, and they extended him with $200 million.
And they were bitching about how he was sulking on the sideline during that loss.
Yeah. So two things. First, what Marcus said is I didn't think that the Cardinals was a franchise that had that kind of money to pay for one player. But then number two, what makes him so valuable? Why did they pay that much for him?
Are they I think they're trying to just build the team.
Quarterbacks are really hard to
around
find.
him. Yeah.
Like decent, good. He's a good quarterback. He's won a Pro Bowl both the last two seasons.
Okay.
So I mean, overall, he's a pretty, he's a very talented quarterback.
Okay.
What team did he come from?
He came from. He was drafted by Arizona. This is
Arizona
his first extension off of his rookie contract.
Oh, they paid him that fresh into the league. They paid him that kind of money.
No,
Well, third year.
He finished. He's entering his. He did. So you get 4 years, and there's a 5th year option on a rookie contract.
Okay.
Instead of giving him the 5th year option, they extended him.
Okay. For $200 million.
How many years?
This is his 4th year. Next year is when this will take effect.
Okay.
Because it's an extension.
No, okay. How many years is it though?
I think it was a 5-year extension.
5-year extension. Okay.
If I remember correctly.
I mean, and they also have options in there where they could drop them at any point in time.
Right. It's not all guaranteed. I think like half of it's guaranteed. It's like 160 million in guarantees, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But I just think it's the red flag is that you needed to have that addendum in there.
Yeah. It's like
it's pretty disturbing that you had to, this is like that's the part of this is really unusual is that no quarterback has ever been required by documentation to do film study on their own.
No, not one. And
because it just comes with the position.
Yeah, you do your job.
That's what I'm saying. They're required to do it, but he's the only one who has it in writing, is what I'm guessing.
But it's unnecessary to put it in writing. It's doing the job. That's the job.
That's what you do so you cannot suck.
And not die.
Right.
Yeah. That's what you do so you don't die on the field.
Yeah. Especially his little ass.
Yeah. He's a tiny human.
He's only like 5'10".
So why do you think they felt the need to specify that in his contract?
Because he wasn't doing it. Because obviously he wasn't doing it.
Oh, all right.
He's kind of a knucklehead. And like the thing is, like there's a lot of stuff about him. Like when he came out, they weren't sure if he wanted to play football or not. He could have gone and played baseball.
Yeah.
He's been kind of like one foot out the door this whole time. There was some attitude stuff about him coming out last year, especially during
and they paid him this kind of money for somebody who's like a behavioral problem for the team, and they're paying him that kind of money.
You got to understand when it's
like the Allen Iverson of fucking football. Like, film? You want me to watch film?
Practice?
Yeah,
we're talking about practice.
You gotta think about how many other teams are looking for quarterbacks, and this year, like teams always overdraft quarterbacks. This year, they did not. They were so far out on the rookie class that teams were like trading for every quarterback they could trade for, possibly.
Really?
There's a lot of teams like panicking trying to find quarterbacks, and it's hard to get one as good as him with his upside. Like if he gets his focus together. he has one of the most talented arms, and he's super athletic. He's fast.
You know he's not?
What?
Dak Prescott. You know why? Because he's not black. Dak Prescott is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
How is Kyler Murray not black?
He's not black. He's black.
Yes.
They paid a nigga $230 million. Now this is more news. I thought he was black.
Now this is news.
I thought
The whole time I thought we were talking about a white guy.
Kylo Ren is not black.
Because his name is Kyler.
Yeah.
That's just because he's from Oklahoma.
How many black people in Oklahoma?
I don't know.
This whole story now is turned all the way upside down.
Now I know why they put that shit in his contract. They do that for the black quarterback. You gotta watch the film, nigga. Sign here.
They didn't put that in Michael Vick's contract.
Michael Vick did it though. Michael Vick was at the top of his game.
Michael Vick didn't give a fuck.
Michael Vick could throw a ball.
When he was in Atlanta, he didn't give a shit.
Because he could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do in Atlanta.
That's true.
Michael Vick, as long as Michael Vick threw that ball out the stadium like that Powerade commercial, them motherfuckers ain't care what the hell Michael Vick did. He could have killed every dog in Atlanta, and the motherfuckers would have went, "Hey, all dogs go to heaven."
They would have made him the CEO of the SPCA. They didn't give a fuck.
Shit. Until them whites found out, he was fine. He was good in Chocolate Atlanta. Shit. Oh man, what else going on in the world, Joe?
Speaking of racism, a Washington State man has been arrested and charged after he allegedly called a Buffalo, New York supermarket and threatened to kill black people there at a nearby store in the area, according to authorities.
So, is this that dude's uncle?
Come on.
What?
Joey David George, 37, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of interstate threats after police say he made repeated calls to a top supermarket store. Why the fuck are you calling cross country?
So when Joey
have 3 first names, what is that?
He used the pseudonym Peter.
No, here's the thing. Whenever they're a terrorist, they use all their names.
But it's 3 first names: Joey David George.
And then here's the thing: he has 3 first names and then used none of them. He chose to use a pseudonym, which is like the weird thing. Because like if you're making threats, why would you need to give yourself a name?
True.
As a threatener of people. Peter said he would make the news if he shot and killed all of the black people, including all of the women and children and babies.
Fucking white people, man. Y'all losing your mind, Joey.
George asked the top store employee if the store was cleared out, telling the employee that there was a chance he was already in the store or somewhere nearby.
What?
This is not well thought out.
I'm close.
Or I'm here. I'm either here or I'm nearby.
I'm either here or around the corner.
In a second phone call, George allegedly ranted about a race war, saying this is what happens in a blue state.
Lord Jesus. Yeah.
What state was it?
He later tried to block his phone number using *67. But law enforcement say they are still able to trace the phone number back to George, identifying him as the person who made the call.
Hold on. He later tried to block his phone. So he called just with his raw number the first time?
He raw dogged the first time. He raw dog racism.
I mean, the audacity to
what
call,
kind of criminal is this?
First of all, if you here's the thing. I don't understand it because you're in Washington, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to call, it's really racially driven. You have all the stores in the country to call.
You call Buffalo, New York.
How many black people are in Buffalo?
He just wanted to put more fear in that city because last time.
Yeah, I mean
that's all it was.
So you're a copycat bitch.
Yeah, he ain't a real copycat. This motherfucker is
the thing. He didn't want to have to do a lot of work, right? You call and you say, I'm going to kill all the black people in Buffalo. It's like 4 people. You can't call and say, I'm going to kill all the black people in Detroit. That's going to take all week. It's a lot of people.
Well, federal criminal complaint details other threatening calls allegedly made by him over the past year to businesses in Maryland, Connecticut, and Washington State. In each instance, he allegedly used racial slurs and threatened to shoot customers in the business because of racial hatred.
All from the safety of Washington State.
Why? What? I don't understand that. I have racial hatred. I'm going to shoot your customers. Like, I just don't understand the structure of that.
This guy's dumb. That's what it fucking boils down to.
That's the thing is that the face of racism is stupid.
Yes.
Like really fucking stupid.
2022 racism is dumb as hell.
I just don't understand how being like a white supremacist, you don't look around and not like your allies because of how dumb the people around.
Oh, they're stupid. Like I would look at all. Like I look at the
like at some point did you just go, that was a really fucking dumb thing you said, Peter. Like
he ain't got no good friends. He don't got good friends. That's what it boils down to for him. Oh man, what else going on, Joe?
So you remember Leave It to Beaver?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wally, the Beaver.
So initially reports of Tony Dow, his death is were greatly exaggerated by his own wife. On Tuesday,
Is that the guy who played the Beaver? What did he play on the show?
I think it was Wally.
Okay.
he's the big brother Wally.
There you go. See, I know white people. I know all the white shows. I watched Andy Griffin, Opie Andy, and all. Aunt B with that fat ass. Aunt B
Andy Griffith, not Griffin.
Hey,
She told
Eddie Griffith does not need extension of his family. It was the town of Mayberry. It was Barney Fife. I watched that. Yep. The Beverly Hillbillies. I watched all them black and white folks.
You old as shit.
I am. I'm old. I am. I had a black and white TV. I grew up in the poor side of the city.
On Tuesday,
so I had a black and white TV for a long time. But I enjoyed that shit. Go ahead, Joey.
On Tuesday afternoon, Tony Dow's wife told TMZ she believed her husband was dead and told his management team, who announced his passing on his Facebook account. The wife, Lauren, said as of Tuesday afternoon, he is still alive and breathing while in hospice care, and she's distraught over the error. The Facebook post has since been taken down.
How you make that error? You made the error.
Oh, she did a death announcement for her husband, who is in fact still alive.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I'm up to speed.
He's in hospice, so I mean, he has diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
So any minute now.
Yeah.
He could go any day, but goddamn, don't send that man premature.
Don't push him into the grave.
Hey, he may make a recovery or some shit. He may fuck around and come out of that motherfucker. And then he got to go home to you looking at him going, I told him you were dead, baby.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, even if he does recover from the cancer, isn't he? He's got to be like 97 if he was on Andy Griffith.
77. He's 77. Here's the thing I think is hilarious is like, what if he like fully recovers from it, right? And only because she tried to kill him.
He just wakes up one morning and just goes, gotcha, bitch.
Or recover out of spite.
Yeah, the spite recovery.
That would be the funniest fucking show. Like
spite is the new cure for cancer.
The new cure for cancer. Tell people we did. Oh man, what else going on, Joe?
I'm gonna make that ad for that Spitra.
The cure for just about anything.
Yeah.
So after a long stretch where his legislative program stalled, Biden and the Democrats appear ready to notch a string of victories.
Okay.
The first major prescription drug legislation in nearly 20 years, more than $50 billion to subsidize computer chip manufacturing and research, and a bill that would enshrine protection for same-sex marriage.
So they're going to give the gays a pill that puts microchips in their stomachs.
They weren't all the same. There was 3.
That's what I heard, Candace. You hear what Biden's going to do to them?
They're always trying to do something.
To the gays.
But he's going to do what? He's going to secure same-sex marriage, or he's abolishing it?
No, he's trying to secure it.
Okay, so that's good at least.
He's not so old he forgot his platform.
I mean, I'm just saying they took away abortion. They might take away gay marriage too.
We're talking about the president and not the Supreme Court.
Well, whatever. They're all they to me.
All they.
They're all they. But here's the thing about
you know what
Joe.
They are going to take away?
What?
The Choco Taco.
Oh.
You know what I want them to take away? Student loan debt like they said they would. But go on about the Choco Taco.
Thank you. I want them to take away all this racism.
Klondike is discontinuing the beloved Choco Taco after being around for nearly 40 years. The company has confirmed the, quote, disappointing news on Monday. Klondike explained the decision to stop making the ice cream treat in a message on its website and on Twitter.
What's in a Choco Taco? Is it a waffle cone?
Cream?
Yeah, it's like a waffle cone
With ice cream in the middle and like chocolate and nuts.
with like some chocolate ribbon ice cream, and then there's like nuts and covered with chocolate on the top.
Okay.
A
bunch
Klondike
of shit you don't need.
Klondike
What's the reason?
Taco has unfortunately been discontinued in both 1 count and 4 count pack sizes. Over the past 2 years, we have experienced an unprecedented spike in demand across our portfolio and have made to make very tough decisions to ensure availability of our full portfolio nationwide. A necessary but unfortunate part of this process is that we sometimes must discontinue products, even a beloved item like Choco Taco.
You know what they better not discontinue? The cookies and cream Klondike bar.
I never liked the Klondike bar in the first place.
You didn't?
No.
It just melted in your hand.
You discontinue the fucking Klondike bar and give me a Choco Taco, Klondike. What the fuck are
Their
you
ice
doing?
cream sandwich was always good.
They can kiss my whole ass.
Oh, well.
It took
The
away
best
the
snack
I cared about.
is the cosmic brownie from Lil Debbie. That's it. That's the best snack, hands down.
Because you got
You're
bad
not
teeth.
even talking about ice cream in it. What are you doing?
I don't like ice cream snacks.
What? You don't like ice cream sandwiches?
No. Mm-mm.
A sandwich of ice cream? You don't
The
love?
top part always gets mushy.
So after the thing on Saturday, me and Josh went to, because I told him that was gonna happen probably, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, Chaos, I'm
gonna be there."
Yeah, so he came and he missed it, but then he's like, and then he got high, and then he was like, "Let's go get ice cream." So we walked down back alleys and found a Jenny's ice cream shop,
Okay.
and they had a Buttercrisp waffle cone that was
Ooh,
delightful.
it sounds like it would.
It was everything I wanted a waffle to be in the last 6 months. I've been trying to have a decent fucking waffle.
Okay. Wow, Candace, you don't like ice cream like that?
It's okay. I like what's this one that I like? With the chocolate chip cookie dough in it. I do like that flavor. But other than that, ice cream's not like, one of my favorite types of snacks.
Well, us elder blacks need.
I prefer like
away-
cakes and stuff, like pastry type of shit.
Us elder blacks need to stay away from the lactose. We have a genetic intolerance. If I drink drink some milk or eat some ice cream, y'all better leave because it's gonna get serious.
You get some minimally processed milk from the Mom's Organic Market.
Okay,
The yellow milk
Ugh.
is good though.
It looks like so you're giving me piss. You're giving me piss. Joey's
That
solution.
means you're tugging on the wrong thing. I don't know what you're
Joey's
talking about.
solution for my lactose intolerance is to give me cow piss. All right, good to know. What else we got going on, Joe?
So there's a lake in Nevada. Speaking of, they found a third set of human remains in Lake Mead on Monday because the water level has now fallen this was the largest reservoir
For Nevada.
and it is at unprecedented low, and now these bodies are just laying there.
You know who put them there, right, Joey?
The mob.
Your uncles.
Yeah.
All your uncles threw bodies in the Lake Mead.
Straight.
Yeah.
National,
They were trying to do legitimate business.
yes.
Out in the desert.
This is the price of getting the law off their back. National Park Service rangers responded to a report of human remains discovered around 4:30 p.m. at Swim Beach at Lake Mead National Recreation Area. The agency said it's called Swim Beach, but there ain't no water there. The medical examiner's office in Clark County, Nevada, is expected to determine the cause of death. According to Park Service, no details have been publicly released regarding the identity of the victim or when the person might have died.
I can tell you when he died. Look for when the Sands was built. If he's been missing since the Sands was built, he got an ascot on. He came up missing right around the time them Teamsters put the first damn cement in that motherfucker. These are all bodies these are Jimmy Hoffa's bodies.
So
This is what Hoffa did.
just to give you a perspective, the water levels at Lake Mead are the lowest they've been since the reservoir near Las Vegas was filled for the first time on April 1937 as Hoover Dam then called Boulder Dam, harness the Colorado River.
Mm-hmm.
Satellite images released by NASA last week show how the reservoir on the Nevada-Arizona border, which is now 27% full, is nearly unrecognizable compared to how it looked in the past 2 decades.
Damn. We fucking up the world, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
This global warming thing it's a real thing. And we got to stop it somehow. I say go to Mars. What you say?
I'm sorry. I'm just seeing a picture they're showing of with the caption under this body found. The body was in a barrel.
Yeah, that was a mob hit.
Of course it was.
Yes, of course it was.
Speaking of the mob,
always on their job.
Oh, we lost Candace.
Yeah, we lost Candace.
Mark Zuckerberg.
The modern mob.
Mark Zuckerberg failed to conceal his annoyance with an employee who asked about vacation days during a meeting in which the Meta CEO reveals plans to cut underperforming workers.
These are the balls of millennials. You're in a meeting talking about, hey, we're going to let these motherfuckers go. And you go, hey, man, how about that vacation time I got?
Yeah.
Can I take that this week? Nigga.
How about unblock my Instagram account, Zuckerberg?
Thank you.
Fucking douchebag.
True statement. I mean, I ain't gonna change that.
There's no libel or slander there. During a company-wide QA meeting on June 30th, the Facebook boss warned a recent market slump might be one of the worst downturns that we've seen in recent history, as he explained the reasoning behind the cost cuts. Motherfucker, you got the money.
Here's the thing I don't understand when people do shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Their money comes from advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not advertising still?
Exactly.
There's a market downturn. You don't sell shit. Like it ain't like you have a commodity that the world needs that like you're not selling enough of. You sell advertising space to other fucking people.
Stop. Stop looking like a lizard that just shed its skin. Yeah. I'm tired of looking at his fucking like opaque eyes. What the fuck is this translucent bullshit is going on here?
He's a weird looking human being.
Weirdo.
It's a weird looking human
being. During the virtual session, Zuckerberg reportedly appeared visibly frustrated after one Chicago-based employee asked whether Meta Days, or extra time off introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic, would continue in 2023. And Zuckerberg said, all right. After hearing the pre-recorded question, according to a recording obtained by The Verge, given my tone in the rest of the QA, you can probably imagine what my reaction to this is.
Listen, bitch, you lucky you got a job. That's what he should. That's what he wanted to say.
In the same meeting, Zuckerberg revealed that Meta would be implementing higher standards for its employees and cutting ties with those who are unable to meet the new performance threshold.
Like Chicago.
Yeah,
that's what he wanted to say.
This is an actual quote. Realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be here. Part of my hope by raising expectations and having more aggressive goals and just kind of turning up the heat a little bit is that I think some of you might decide that this place isn't for you. Wow. And that self-selection is okay with me.
Wow.
Oh, what a fucking dick.
He basically said, go jump off a bridge and fuck yourself. Damn it.
Meta,
Zuckerberg.
Meta has enacted a hiring freeze and other cost-cutting measures as it contends with a major downturn in the market and invests in a costly shift towards the metaverse.
What market? They keep saying this. This shit doesn't make sense to me.
I think this metaverse thing is going to undo them because I bought a fucking Oculus. I have yet to use it.
That's because you don't have time.
I don't, but so no one else does either because they have work standards that they have to fucking meet. Zuckerberg, fucking jackass.
Everybody's got real work standards out here.
This is your fault. You're dumb. I fucking hate you. How about fixing your own fucking products before you start new ones, jackass? Like fucking go. Instagram. What a piece of
Joey.
Shit.
Tell them what you won't do, Joey.
It's just dumb.
Okay. Shit. Well, on that note, we're gonna get out of here for the week, Joey. Oh man. Full of piece of shit.
Wait a minute. The billionaire said the company did not plan on implement layoffs, but it had not yet ruled them out either. And then someone said, "Did Mark just say there are a bunch of people at this company that don't belong here?" One staffer asked on an internal messaging platform. Another employee quipped, "Who hired them?" Others lauded Zuckerberg's shifted tone. "It's wartime. We need a wartime CEO," one employee wrote.
Wow.
A Meta representative downplayed Zuckerberg's comments in a statement to The Verge. "Any company that wants to have lasting impact must practice disciplined prioritization and work with a high level of intensity to reach goals."
Yeah.
The reports of these...
They're not false statements.
I understand. I've had similar thoughts at times too. But like...
restructuring is always a good thing sometimes.
I don't say that. And just like, if you're going to do it, do it. Don't do a bitch and be like, "Oh, I hope some of you decide to leave."
No, fire them and move on at the damn time.
And fire people. Got some balls.
Okay.
Got some balls.
Some balls, man. You need balls.
If you can afford them, go get some big fucking ostrich balls. I'm a private chef. Cook them up for you. I don't know why Christopher Walken is telling him
to grow some balls,
to eat some ostrich ball.
On that, Jesus Christ, Joey LaFaro. Oh, we're gonna get out of here, folks. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been the Dot Comedy Podcast. I am DJ Marcus. Joey LaFaro. Where can you find you at, sir?
Oversized gorilla balls.
Stupid.
Big Game Hunter. You can find me every Thursday at McGinty's at comedy shows near me. That's at comedy shows near.me on Instagram, or at LaFaro Comedy on Instagram. It's LOFARO. I don't know how to spell it any more or better. It fucking you Google shit. I don't know what to tell you.
And if you're looking for Candace August, you can find her at just Candace at just_Candace on all the social media platforms. Look her up, man. She's a funny lady. See what show she's doing in the next couple of weeks. And if you're looking for DJ Marcus, you need a DJ for your bar mitzvah, Bart mitzvah, Sa mitzvah, skiing mom, and anything happening in your life. You need a DJ. Call DJ Marcus. He's the best DJ in the world. Just ask him. And I'll be also at comedy shows near me this Thursday, spinning the tunes and having some fun, man. So come on out, folks, to see me spin the tunes, Joey tell the jokes, and a bunch of the best comics in the DMV do the damn thing at comedy shows near me. For Joey LaFaro, Candace August, I am DJ Marcus, and we will see you next time with more fun and more thrills on the Dot Comedy Podcast. Where I stand, that concept slipped right out of my hand, and now I don't really even know who I am.